Now for the second half of the plays of the decade. Let's go to the videotape beginning with 1985.
The sneak punch of 1985, Akeem Olajuwon, who hits Billy Pulse. The longest shot in the Israeli League, Doron Gomchi, 87-foot hook shot, and Mazel Tov. The most bizarre bullfight of the decade in Spain, Matador Vicente Ruiz takes exception to fellow Matador Jose Manzaneri's tactics and goes after him. Come on, guys, this is a bull ring, not a boxing ring. The best catch by a left fielder, Ken Griffey of the Yankees, who robs Marty Barrett of the Red Sox of a home run and then does a somersault. The best play by a catcher, Carlton Fisk of the White Sox, who tags out Bobby Meacham and Dale Berra for a double play. The best catch in the World Series, Game 2, George Brett of the Royals, who goes over and into the dugout. The best college play by a quarterback in 1985, South Carolina quarterback Mike Hold against Pittsburgh. Here is Hold, who goes back to his own end zone, then throws to Anthony Smith. The ball is deflected into the hands of Raynard Brown, who runs the remaining 50 yards, completing an 80-yard touchdown. And the worst move by two high school teams who come out on the field at the same time. In 1986, the best dunk by little man, 5'6" Spud Webb in the slam dunk contest. Best high school shot, Chris Knowles, Buena Vista High, a 60-footer, swish, and the Buena Vista coach faints. The best example of the boxing expression on Queer Street, Trevor Berbick against Mike Tyson. Berbick not only goes down one time from the same punch, two times from the same punch, but three times from the same punch. The worst move by a TV camera crew, the La Chine bike race in Montreal. The crew fails to get off the track in time. The best move by a pitcher who has the ball stuck in his glove, Terry Mulholland of the Giants, who throws the ball and the glove. The worst move by an usher at Tiger Stadium, who puts a box in front of Darnell Cole. The best no-look pass, Magic to Billy Thompson. And the longest dive into the end zone for a touchdown, it's Gary Anderson of the Chargers. The worst skiing accident of 1987 with only a broken nose, Todd Brooker, Canada, World Cup downhill, Kitzbühel, Austria. The best double knockdown, kickboxers Joe Poe and Tom McElroy. The best touchdown pass in the NBA, Robert Parrish to Jerry Seasting. The best foul with no foul call, Robert Parrish and Bill Lane Beer. But Parrish is eventually fined and suspended. The worst case of being caught in the act, Twins pitcher Joe Niekro, who was fined and suspended for doctoring up the ball with an emery board. The worst sportsmanship award, Pan Am Games. The Mexican trainer comes off the bench and tackles Nelson Kirshner of Brazil. The best heads-up play by a pitcher, Shane Rawley to Mike Schmidt to Rick Shue for the out. The most irate hockey team, the New Jersey Devils, who climbed the plexiglass after being pelted with debris. And the most determined kicker of the decade, 250-pound William Ritten of South Carolina State, who misses the game-winning field goal against Grambling. But Grambling is called for roughing the kicker. On his second try, Ritten's kick is blocked, but Grambling is offsides. On his third try, Ritten's kick is no good, but again Grambling is offside. The fourth and final time on the same kick, Ritten's kick is good. And South Carolina State beats Grambling 15-13. In 1988, the best broken backboard, Jerome Lane of the University of Pittsburgh. The worst finish to winning a race, Ben Johnson, 60-meter dash, Sherbrooke International. Johnson wins it, but goes up and over. The best piggyback play, Wes Matthews of the Lakers riding Dudley Bradley of the Nets. The worst move by a horse going the wrong way, it's Hadara Lobel in the 5th race at Yonkers. The most painful at bat First, Billy Ripken fouls a ball off his foot. Then, Seattle third baseman Edgar Martinez, thinking it was a batted ball, throws and hits Ripken in the head. The windiest game of the decade, Pirates against the Astros in Pittsburgh. The game was called in the 9th inning because of wind. The best catch by 2 men on 1 play, A's second baseman Glenn Hubbard, and it's A's right fielder Jose Canseco. The best chip shot by an amateur, Michael Jordan, Pro-Am Atlantic Classic out of the bunker on the fly. The best catch of the year while crashing through the barrier, Cubs pitcher Jamie Moyer, who holds on to the ball. The best diving catch on a wet field, Red Sox center fielder Ellis Burks. Most umpires throwing out 1 manager at one time, Angels manager Cookie Rojas. Best play by a pitcher, Frank Viola of the Twins, behind the back and throws him out. Hide that face, Frank. The hardest pitch of the decade, Dodgers' Oral Hershiser, who saws off the bat of Astros' Glenn Davis. The best move by a father and son team, picking up a foul ball. All right, kid. The best volley of 1988, Zina Garrison and Martina Navratilova, U.S. Open. The most dramatic home run of the decade, Game 1 World Series, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, and Kirk Gibson on 1 leg pinch hits a 2-run homer, giving the Dodgers a 5-4 win. The clothesline of the month, Benoit Benjamin of the Clippers, who clobbers Jerome Kersey of Portland. The best combination punches, Sugar Ray Leonard, left and a right, down goes Donnie Lalonde, fight's over. And the foggiest football game of the decade, Eagles-Bears, Soldier Field, New Year's Eve. 1989, the best exchange after the bell, Wally Muhammad and Jeff Lampkin, trying to be separated by referee Paul Venti. The jockey of the decade, Nat Hubbard, first race at Golden State, loses his mount, but hangs on to Sweetwater Oak and finishes second. The worst stuff of the decade, Freddie McSwain of Southern Illinois puts it in, but the ball hits McSwain on the top of his head, bounces out, and no basket. The bare hand catch of the decade, National League MVP Kevin Mitchell, who reaches up and makes the grab. The best reaction after being hit by a very slow curveball, Mike Heath of the Tigers. Give us a smile, Mike. The worst kick of the month by a horse, Sunday Silence, who kicks his trainer, Charlie Winningham. The best diving catch by a running left fielder, it's Barry Bonds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The best impression of a soccer player, Reds right fielder Paul O'Neill, who bobbles the ball and then kicks the ball back to the infield. The best diving catch by a left fielder crashing into the wall, Herm Winningham of the Cincinnati Reds. The best catch by a third baseman going into the photographer's box, Carlos Martinez of the White Sox. The most upset manager of the year, Don Zimmer of the Cubs, who almost bites the nose of umpire Terry Crawford. The worst face mask pull, Jets' Tony Martin pulls Eagles' Greg Garrett's helmet completely around. The most creative play, running back Darren Brooks of Aiken High School in Cincinnati, because the coach said, try something clever. The best home plate collision, Greg Vaughn of the Brewers and Jamie Quirk of Baltimore, out at the plate. The best broken bat of the year, it's Bo Jackson of the Royals, who strikes out and breaks it over his knee. The best flip, Ernest Gibbons of the Houston Oilers, up and over touchdown. The best victory smile after a win, it's Chris Nyland of the New York Rangers. The best goal, watch Paul Gillis of Quebec, totally off his feet, shoots and scores. One of the longest golf shots, it's Peter Jacobson, Kapalua International, 12th hole, 220 yards, 1 bounce, and a hole-in-one. And the mother of the decade, Mrs. Minna Wilson, watching her son being pounded out by Steve McCarthy, jumps into the ring and hits McCarthy over the head with her shoe.
We'll be back in just a moment to show you the biggest interview height mismatch of any decade.